And joining me today is Steven Asplund, who fights Denzel Freeman at LFA 186. That fight is on June 22nd. So, Steven, we obviously got to start by talking about your last fight because not only is it a win, it's an absolute war with Larry Gonzales. You win in there, threw down. Now, obviously, I always got to ask the question. It goes to the judges' scorecards. Did you feel good about it then? Were you nervous at all?
Oh, I felt good about it, man. I felt like I put a pace on that was, pretty hard to keep up with. And with the two drops and everything, I know he took me down late in the third, but I figured damage, says 1,000 fucking words, and my face was a little bit more cleaned up than his was. But yeah, that was a banger.
Absolutely. And now, obviously, like you said, you put a pace on him. And that's kind of the thing that you've been doing here in LFA. That's what you've been able to do to all of your opponents is put a pace on them that heavyweights don't put on them. Do you sort of feel like that's your biggest advantage at heavyweight?
Yeah, I definitely think that is what sets me apart the most. I think that the majority of these guys go in there thinking that they're going to be able to get out in one round. Don't get me wrong, we're heavyweights, takes one, right? But that being said, man, I grew up watching Max Holloway and fucking these volume guys that are amazing. And it's like everyone asks me who I want to be like. I don't want to be like no fucking heavyweight. I want to be like a little guy. I told Gilbert that shit in one of my fighter meetings. Like an average sized person. I'm sorry, I forget I'm a giant, but yeah, I try to put on a crazy pace and a lot of volume on these guys because I know as I open up, the opportunities are going to be there, and putting somebody on their back foot for 5 fucking minutes is tough to keep up with. So.
For sure. Now I got to ask too, because obviously this is part of your story, right? You were, and this is how we met on Twitter, and we talked about it on Twitter. Is you were a big guy once upon a time, right? You
Yeah,
were
for sure.
a very big guy once upon a time, and now you are this guy who has a pace that no heavyweight does. So first of all, explain to me a little bit about your journey here, your weight loss journey, because some people find MMA and that sort of leads them there. Some people want to get into MMA and that forces them to do, the weight loss thing.
Right.
What sort of was the order of operations for you in all this?
Man, I dropped out of high school and I was working as a delivery driver for Devani's and a bouncer at Cowboy Jack's, just not really doing a whole lot with my life. I went through a tough heartbreak as a teenager, and I started smoking weed that same year, and I'd get these anxiety attacks, man, and I'd fucking, I'd freak out. And it's like I completely attribute marijuana to my weight loss. Like, as weird as that sounds, everyone acts like, oh, I couldn't do that shit, whatever. I get anxiety attacks every time I smoke. I go look in the mirror, I tell myself I'm a fat loser piece of shit, and then I go get to work. it's it's very unorthodox, probably not healthy for the mental, but it works. So you know. But yeah, we started there. I lost some weight. I got down to like 280 pounds after a year and some change, and then COVID hit. I got back up to 365, 380. And that was pretty tough. I started working at this concrete place in Minnesota called KCI. Not free spot, not free play. These guys are assholes. I love all the laborers and stuff. There's a couple of four of them in there that are cool, but the overwhelming majority of these guys are cruel. Uh, I fucking, fat ass, fat boy. It's an overwhelming majority of the time of my life, and it is what it is. I'm not sitting here crying about it. Fuck them. But that's what has motivated me.
And so then you decided to get into an MMA gym. How late in all of this process was MMA a part of this step? Like, when did you decide to sort of make that switch?
I'm so sorry, man. Fat stoner kid. I be forgetting. The questions get lost. I get hit in my head for fun. No, so my daddy did this shit forever. He was ranked number one in Minnesota for like 7, 8 years. And then being able to watch him get all the glory and love that he did from all of our people and all the fans and stuff, and to watch my old man get in there with guys my size now and knocking them out at 5'11", 240 pounds. Like, what the fuck? So that drew me to it. And then after I lost the weight, I was just so down in the dumps. But like I've always faked it, whatever confidence I have had, and I'm finally starting to get a grasp of who I am and that self-belief, because I do believe in myself now. Now I'm a drastically different person. But I hit up one of my father's old opponents in 2021, Asked him if I could come train. He said, fuck yeah. I was in there for 3 hours my first day, got my tooth chipped by a guy that was like 15 years older than me. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm coming back. And by the end of the week, they offered me my first kickboxing fight.
Well, so that obviously led you to where you are now, and now I gotta, I'm a guy who loves the nickname game too in MMA. So I know you go by Concrete. Is that from your time working in Concrete? That was just like the natural progression of that one.
So, I'm a fucking loser. I stole it. I stole it from my daddy. He was also Concrete, but it did. My mom came up with it for him. Like fuck, you hit like you got cinder blocks in your hands. Your head's made of concrete. You do concrete. Like why not? And I've basically followed in every fucking footstep of my old man. So I'm just trying to hold this torch, and thankfully I'm doing well carrying it.
Absolutely, you are. In that last win, which obviously we talked about at the top, I know got you a new LFA contract. So tell us a little bit about the length and sort of what your goals are for this term on the contract.
Well, my thing is, I want to stay active. I think I obviously there's room for growth in every aspect. I'm not complacent. I'm constantly looking to grow and better myself, whether it's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or striking. I don't think I'm the best at shit I have yet. That being said, um, my goal is to stay as active as I can, continue to put on good shows, win or lose. I want people to remember my fights, and I want people to be like, that kid's a fucking dog. And I feel like I've been doing that. The experience has just been amazing, and I'm hoping to God I can get to the fucking UFC, hoping to God I could get the Bellator PFL 1 anywhere where I can get more eyes and some more fucking money, man. I'm a single daddy. I'm fighting for custody of my daughter. I'm fighting for a good life for me, my lady, and my fucking parents. Like I want to retire my parents at some point, and I got into this game for all the wrong reasons, trying to make some extra money. And now, I'm in a position where I have eyes on me and I have an opportunity to show everybody what the fuck I'm capable of. So now it's time to go show everybody what titties can do.
Well, the next chance you get to do that is obviously against Denzel Freeman, LFA 186. So let me ask you. Obviously, Denzel is a guy. There's going to be eyes on him. He came from the PFL. He's been in some of those big situations, the ones you're talking about. What were sort of your thoughts on him being the next step, the guy who is standing between you and some of those things you talked about?
You can ask my management team, dude. I don't give a fuck who's in front of me. I don't care. You can put Francis in front of me as long as you got a good fucking paycheck along with it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I just say yes to whoever's offered. But that being said, as soon as I know that the fight is official or we have a date, I get right into psycho stalker mode. So I know Denzel's got a lot of credentials. I know he did TKD Nationals this year. And I know he likes to throw a lot of kicks. I know he's explosive and he's fast. But I also know that he has Greco-Roman wrestling. And Greco-Roman guys do not fare well with me. So I think that this is going to be a fun fight. And I think that I tell everybody, the fight ain't going to the fucking mat unless the other guy shoots. And I work with Thomas Peterson, who's in the UFC. That's my big brother, one of my best fucking friends. And he's a dog, one of the best wrestlers I've ever had an opportunity to work with. And arguably one of the best in the fucking world. I get to watch him and Gable go at it relatively frequently, and it's just ridiculous. Ain't nobody like Tommy. Ain't nobody like Gable. So I'm excited to show everybody that this striker can fucking wrestle too. And if you take me down, I'm gonna get back up. So I hope you get tired. I hope you don't get tired, bro. That's all I can say. No, I know he's got power in his hands too, so I'm excited. I think that this is gonna be a fun fight. I don't think it's gonna go past the second round. Neither of us have fought at altitude. And I know I got a pretty deep gas tank at my weight, so I hope he's conditioned, and I'm gonna just do whatever I can to fucking pour it on him.
Well, that usually leads me right to my last question, which is I like to try to get a prediction out of fighters. So tell me, you said you're going to put the pace on him. You said you're going to get back up. How's this one end come June 22nd?
Oh, man, you know how concrete's coming, baby. I'm trying to put motherfuckers to sleep. It's all love and respect to Denzel. He's a fucking amazing guy. Watching every competition he's in, I admire him 100%. That being said, he's coming to take food off of my table and take money out of my fucking pockets and make it harder for me to feed my family. So I'm looking for a first round KO. That's what I'm gonna predict. First round KO.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. This has been Steven Asplund, who fights Denzel Freeman, LFA 186. Once again, that fight, June 22nd. Steven, thank you so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. It means the world, and I appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that shows the love and support. Thank you to my parents, my brothers, my lady, my baby girl, my sponsors, my team. Fuck, none of this is possible without any of you guys. So thank you. This is a dream for a fat kid. I fucking love all of you.